Hey everyone, this is Chala Dinkoy, CEO and founder of the Repositioning Expert. Welcome to another Tuesday Tea Time with Chala. Welcome, welcome. I am so happy to be here after 2 days of snow pounding Toronto. Well, the one day really, and the second day the schools were still closed because it was, such a backlog of clearing the snow. It was like literally one of the biggest cities in North America, and our highways were closed yesterday. So, um, living on the 14th floor, had the best bird's eye view of everybody who was stuck in the snow. In fact, an entire bus was stuck here for like 11 hours right in front of the condo. So it was good times, good times. So today's topic is all about 5 things your B2B sales team should stop doing. And I am absolutely thrilled to announce something really, really breakthrough for me. This entire segment and title and the outline, everything was created by AI. And I found this when I was researching different options and different content trends. And one of the biggest marketing content trends, you guys, is letting AI write your ads, your website copy, your blogs, your speeches, your titles. It's so amazing. And I tried it because I wanted to see if I could recommend it, if I could use it. Now, I never want you to take the entirety of this content creation away from the soul of what you know about your clients, your customers, and your experience. Nobody can do that for you, not a third party who is writing it offshore, or somebody in-house who's a copywriter. They can't do that for you, or AI. They cannot do that for you. What they do is you give them the topic, you give them the tone of voice, which mine, believe it or not, I gave I tried witty, I tried funny, and then I tried sarcastic. And the one that I liked the most was sarcastic. I don't know what that says about me. But yeah, so this content that you're going to see here was completely created. I mean, the title and the topic, the outline. So the section headings were completely created by AI. But I totally agree with them. And I'm going to tell you, advice around each and every single topic that they generated. And the way that they generated, of course, is, searching everything else that's been written about it and conglomerating everything else that's known about it on the webs, and just putting everything together based on whatever little knowledge that you give it. It's just fabulous. I'm so in love. I guess, I'm a laggard. I'm figuring all this stuff out. But what is the potential for even small businesses who never even blog, just because they are so scared about, well, what am I going to blog about? How am I going to write it? I'm not a good writer. Well, all you have to do is you have to have the knowledge, and then you get some help, and then you edit what you get back from the AI. So the one that I've used is Jarvis. So go and check it out. But so this is the content. So I'm just so excited to share this all with you. And I'm going to be sharing it with all my clients. I'm going to be sharing it with anybody else that I know. And I am not being paid at all. I have no affiliate links or anything like that, but I do love it. So this is one of the topics that was suggested to me, which I love. I love this topic because for many years, I worked with large corporations where I was in both sales and marketing. And when I worked in marketing, I thought the sales were doing something wrong. And when I worked in sales, I thought the marketing was doing something wrong. And now for the past 10 years, I've been helping large corporations and their sales departments sell to even larger corporations. So that's where I see all of these issues are happening. So number one, 5 things your B2B sales team should stop doing is stop accepting every meeting. Now, the more seasoned ones, of course, they take less meetings. I get that. But if there's some sort of, quota or track record or something, like you have to come to the table with some progress. I can understand that you're trying to book as many meetings with as many people as possible, but they go nowhere. There's an enormous cost of meetings that go nowhere. And there's an enormous cost to not just the organization, but also your mindset, because every time you meet someone who is not a good fit, you're gonna set yourself back in terms of success, in terms of what am I doing wrong, in terms of self-doubt, because you are your engine. Whether you're the CEO of the company and you're doing your own sales, or you're a rep and you're selling for the company, try not to take as many meetings, especially as if they are not, the right meetings. So stop accepting every meeting. Number 2 is, and I love this, stop wasting your time on low value or unqualified prospects. So I know that it is way easier to get meetings with smaller companies than it is with much bigger companies, because there's more competition for the bigger companies, and there are more layers of buyers for the larger companies. But I would much rather you continue to target larger companies and get fewer meetings than you exhaust yourself in targeting smaller and getting more, but selling less and maybe not at all. So, and I know this firsthand, because during COVID, one of the strategies that I tried to replace my in-person, on-stage funnels with was podcasting. And at first, when I hired I hired people. I hired an agency to get me on shows, and then I hired staff to get prospects for me to interview. And at one point, when I hired my offshore team, they were booking me so many prospects that I was exhausted. I would do, and when I say prospects, these were podcast guests that then I would try to convert into sales. I was so exhausted. I would do like 6 interviews, 5 interviews per day. All, they would take about half an hour each, 20 minutes, and then the conversation around it. I was exhausted and nothing came of it. Nothing. Maybe 1 or 2 small packages I sold, but until a year later, when I, let go of that team, now I'm on my own. I've automated a few things. I've got a much thinner team. But now I take very, very few meetings, but they are mostly converting into multiple 5-figure large contracts. And I have time for myself. I'm no longer exhausted. I'm, not this whole mental game of, oh my God, this could be a sale, but it's not, they're not qualified. It is all mental anguish and abuse if you're constantly meeting with people who are way too small or unqualified. So don't do that to yourself. And that's one of the reasons why your sales may not be growing that fast if your sales team is doing that. Number 3 of things that your B2B sales team should stop doing is stop trying to make people like you. This is one of my favorites, because sales reps and anybody who actually does any selling has a very specific type of personality. They are people, and some of them are people pleasers. So stop trying to make the meeting about you and, trying to gain their trust through gaining their liking. Now, all sorts of research talks about the fact that people buy from people they like, but I want you to base their liking on sharing value instead of your personality. Your personality doesn't help, but it's not the door opener. I don't want it to be that they have to like you. So stop trying to make people like you. Instead, be useful to them. So make them respect you. Appear as if you are a thought leader and a strategic partner. With some of the teachings that I do for clients and their sales reps, we position the sales reps as thought leaders. We position them with their thoughtful questions as a strategic partner. Stop trying to make them like you. Start trying to get them to see value in you and to respect you. And then the liking will come, right? It's not about taking me to the golf game. It's not about buying me, gifts and presents and making me happy. I mean, very clearly, when I was being wooed by all these sales reps, we had very persistent, like me, please like me type of vendors. And honestly, they never got my business. There were about other people in the company that gave them business. I mean, out of obligation, guilt, liking, whatever. But more and more, it was all about what is the strategic reason why I need to work with you. So it wasn't at all about it. Never became about liking. It always became about strategic reasons for working together. Okay, let me take another sip. Okay, so number 4 of what of the 5 things that your B2B sales team should stop doing is stop start. So this is not a stop. This is a start delivering value. This is kind of like what I was telling you. Start delivering value in every conversation, even if it means saying no sometimes. So for example, I just had a sales conversation with a prospect where I told her that it was too early for her to decide whether she needed to work with me or not, because she had to make a decision, a much, much bigger decision on which direction she wanted her life to go, because she was considering several options of growing her business and taking the new direction and including her passion projects. But she wasn't sure if she was going to do it on her own or if she needed to partner with someone, and then whether she would be okay with having control over that partnership, or whether she was okay with doing all the heavy lifting on her own if she was going to create it on her own. So I literally stopped the conversation from being about whether to hire me or not. And the conversation became about what she really needed to do. And that was of enormous value to her. And she thanked me. And she said, even if I'm not in the market to hire you, depending on the decision, could we stay in touch? Could I get back to you? And again, we're having another follow-up discussion, because that conversation and saying no to her actually was of value to her, more value to her than trying to sell myself into somewhere in that equation. Okay. So start delivering value in every conversation. That was a sales prospect, and it was a sales conversation that they set up because of a roundtable that I put together, and they were interested in working with me. They thought I had value to add, but it turned into a strategic conversation about her future. So that's what I want for you, is I want you to change those conversations to add value to them, regardless of whether you can sell anything to them and in that moment or not. And this brings me to my last point, and I do forget what the statistics were, but there is an enormous number of buyers, B2B buyers, corporate buyers, who think that sales reps are too pushy. I think it's almost like 30-40% have said that. So the number 5 thing to stop doing if you're a B2B sales rep is to stop pushing for the sale before establishing trust. So kind of the story that I was telling you about this last prospect that I just spoke to, we established trust first. And there are many other ways of establishing trust, even before you meet. All of your collateral online, your content, your videos, your blogs, whether you're the sales rep or the company, to demonstrate thought leadership in their pain, in the solution to their pain that you're meeting them about. To be able to showcase some testimonials, case studies, raving fans, reviews. All of that is trust, right? We all get into a car driven by a stranger because we trust that stranger not to kill us or hurt us or maim us or steal from us, simply because they have a logo in their window, which they could have made up, or because they're on an app that we could see their background, they're traceable. All these things have completely changed the speed of trust and the way that we look at the world. So all of that stuff online gives people a level of trust that you can have even before you meet them. I personally send videos of testimonials. I send videos of me welcoming people and telling them exactly what we're going to talk about. These are my email sequences to anybody who books a call with me on my scheduler link. So they already have a brand perception and a good education. And if they go ahead and actually watch the actual videos, they have an actual emotional response to the people who are talking about all their success and how scared they were and what what failures they came from and so on. So that's what I want for you is I want you to stop pushing for the sale, stop being that pushy person. And in fact, I love that, the magnetic marketing is when you are speaking about, blogging about, live streaming about, doing whatever it is, doing roundtables about the pain, and you become the sought out expert where people are making appointments with you to talk to you so that you never have to push anything. You don't have to push for a meeting. You don't have to push for a sale. All you're doing is you're showing up with value, you're talking about their pain, and you're very specific. So you stand out and you're in their world and you're right in front of them. And all they have to do is click yes when your email comes and invites them to a meeting. Or if you're selling an online program like I just did last week, people are pressing yes, thank you, and I'll purchase one, thank you. So that's what I want for you. Those are the 5 things your B2B sales team should stop doing. And with my last little sip here, I'm hoping that by next week, we're going to be back. Schools are going to be open. Well, schools are hopefully opening tomorrow, but my goodness, the gyms are closed again. So fingers crossed, we're waiting for the end of the month to see if they're going to open because I don't know, this, doing the gym in my condo thing is for the birds. It's not working, guys. Anyway, on that note, have a wonderful rest of the week, and I will see you next Tuesday. All the best.